If you want to feel better in your life, like actually feel better, not just distracted, numbed out, what I'm about to tell you could change everything. Avoidance of your negative emotions is the reason why you don't have the dream yet. It's why you don't have what you want in your life. Growth requires discomfort. Change requires fear. And dreams require a little bit of uncertainty. Negative emotions are the currency towards your dream. My coach says it like this: discomfort is the currency towards your dream. So what is discomfort? Discomfort is your negative 50. And the idea that you should be feeling good all of the time isn't just unrealistic, it's a lie. And it is literally what is keeping you stuck. I'm going to share a very important concept with you that changed my life, and it has changed so many of my clients' life just by hearing this concept. But before, I have to share with you about 4 or 5 important truths for you to build up to this concept, okay? So the very first truth is that you experience your life through emotions. You are always feeling something, whether you know it, whether you register it, whether you can name it or not. So you're never not feeling something. Now, we live on Earth, and on Earth, happiness seems to be the goal. This is what we're taught in the media. This is what we're taught in our families. This is what we're taught on a carton of ice cream, like I have in the fridge that says a carton of joy, no joke. We are taught that we should be happy all the time. We should feel better all of the time. That happiness is something to be chased after. There's been multiple books written on happiness, on positive feeling emotions. But this is actually where suffering starts. Okay, and I'm going to get into that in a second. Let's talk about what are emotions. Okay, so if I'm telling you that at any given point of the day and second to second, moment to moment, you're feeling something, what are emotions? And I'm going to use the word emotions and feelings interchangeably, but I do mean the same thing. They are the same thing. So an emotion is just a physical vibration in your body. I know that sounds woo-woo, and I am the furthest thing from a woo-woo person, but that's really what it is. Now, you might experience an emotion differently than me. Let's say excitement is felt in both of our bodies. We're both feeling the emotion of excitement. You're going to feel it somewhere in your body different than myself or somebody else. So it's different for everybody, but we experience them in our body. So for me, excitement might feel like butterflies in my stomach, a lightness, an energy. I might feel like my facial muscles pulling up into a smile. That might be how I experience excitement. Now let's talk about a negative emotion, fear. You might experience fear in your stomach. Maybe there's a tightness there or a feeling at the back of your throat. That might be how you experience fear. Now, here's another important thing. Emotions are completely harmless. They can't harm you. They never could harm you, and they never will harm you. No emotion can kill you. No emotion is dangerous. The emotion itself is actually not good or bad. It's just an emotion. Okay, now here's the second truth that I need you to hear. Your lower brain, the amygdala, wants to avoid negative emotion. This is the part of your brain that is designed to keep you happy all the time. It's motivated to make you feel good. And yes, that's physical pain, but it's also emotional pain too. When your brain perceives that you're experiencing a vibration, an emotion in your body that doesn't feel good, it will cause you to have thoughts or to be motivated to go do something to make you feel better. This is because your brain, that part of your brain, can't decipher between a bear charging at you and you being in imminent danger versus you going to give a presentation to your boss. That same fear is lit up in the same place in your brain, and that lower brain does not want you to experience any type of pain, emotional pain. And because nobody's ever taught you how to master your mind and your emotions, you will inevitably do self-sabotaging actions, all because you're feeling negative emotions. So this is the reason why you don't have the things in your life that you desire. It's because there's negative emotions always on that path for what you want most. And when you experience a negative emotion in your body, a lot of times it's subconscious, and that lower brain's already telling you to avoid it, to distract it, to pick up your phone and scroll and procrastinate, because it doesn't want you to feel a negative emotion. So it's important for you to remind yourself, there is no negative emotion that can harm me. There is no emotion that can harm me. Emotions are harmless. Fear is harmless. It's just a vibration in my body. Now, I know you've heard this before. It's our actions that we take when we are in negative emotion that cause us pain. So you might say, no, I don't think that there's a problem for me going on my phone or for me watching Netflix or eating something when I'm sad. And I want to remind you, that's not true. There is a net negative result when you don't feel your emotions. Not only do you not get to your goal or it delays you getting to your goal, but it creates a negative result, right? So if you eat food constantly when you're feeling a negative emotion, even if it's boredom, dread, sadness, disappointment, even restlessness, those would be classified as negative emotions. And because you don't have the emotional capacity to sit there present with those emotions, you end up automatically going to the cupboard and eating food. And if you compound that action over and over again, you end up being overweight. And for most of you who are overweight, who wish you were at your goal weight or at a healthy weight, you say things to yourself like, I don't know what my problem is, I'm just out of control. But really what the problem is that you aren't present with your negative emotion. You haven't learned emotional mastery. You have not allowed yourself the gift of sitting with a negative emotion and evolving that part of your brain that realizes and can know that an emotion is completely harmless. And so because nobody taught us how to process and feel our emotions, we usually cope one of three ways. We suppress it, we avoid it, or we distract, or what I like to call we buffer from it. So what's happened is when we're feeling that negative emotion, our amygdala is like, alert, we need to feel better. This is terrible. Do not feel this emotion. We don't know how to feel this emotion. Let's avoid, let's distract. You'll do these actions. You'll either go eat something. You'll get an instant dopamine hit from that. Over drink something. You'll go have a glass of wine or a beer. You'll overspend. You'll go on your phone. You'll try to buy something. Instant dopamine hit. You'll watch Netflix. You'll scroll in your phone. Some people will go to sex, like porn, right? And so why these are a problem is because it creates so much more suffering for you, because now you have the emotion still there, unprocessed, plus the consequences of what you did to escape that emotion. So what is going to help you suffer less, experience life more abundantly, is to adopt this concept of 50-50. And I learned this from my coach, Brooke Castillo. And here it is. Your life is always going to be 50-50. And it was always meant to be that way. I'm talking about your emotional experience as a human on planet Earth. You are here on Earth, and on this Earth, you will have 50% negative emotions and 50% positive emotions. Not because there's something wrong or something wrong with you, it's because that is the design. And as a Christian, I really struggled with this. I didn't like those percentages at all. I thought should be more 70-30. And if I wasn't 70-30, then there's something wrong with me. What am I doing wrong? Why can't I just be happy? I've got a good life on paper. Why am I feeling so negative so much of this time? And it's because I was arguing with the fact that I was experiencing negative emotion. In fact, if I tell myself, today I'm going to experience 50% negative emotions, I am setting myself up for success to feel better in the day. That doesn't mean I'm not feeling the negative emotions. It means that I'm not having the resistance towards any negative emotion that I will feel today. And so I want you to think about it. You're supposed to be disappointed when your husband lets you down. You're supposed to be disappointed when your kid lies to you. You're supposed to feel grief when a loved one passes away. You're supposed to feel dread when your house is a complete disaster and you have to spend your only day off from work cleaning it up. That is the human experience. That is the 50-50 that we signed up for when we came to Earth. If you want to be happy all the time, happiness and joy and peace and love is what heaven is for. That's what we get after we die. But for the time being, while we're on this earth, we will experience trouble. In fact, that's biblical. It says on this earth, you will have trouble. So when you accept 50-50, something will shift for you. When disappointment shows up, you don't panic. When you're bored, you don't buffer. When frustration shows up, you don't spiral. When you're exhausted, you don't go and grab a glass of wine. When sadness shows up, you don't resist it. You just simply say, this is 50-50. This is part of being a human. I am having a very human experience right now. I am okay. And you know what happens when you do that is the emotion moves through you. Instead of avoiding that emotion, instead of stuffing it, instead of ignoring it, chasing quick, cheap dopamine hits, all because of a harmless emotion in your body. And here's the other thing. Emotions, they only last 1 to 3 minutes. So when you're in that negative emotion, you can even remind yourself, this is boredom and this is going to last for a couple minutes. This is uncertainty. I'm feeling uncertain right now. What does uncertainty feel like in my body? And when you pay attention, your brain is literally making connections that are going to remind you the next time that you feel a discomfort in your body to not escape it. You will remind yourself, I can be present in this. It's okay. I already have the evidence from the last time that I didn't die. And what you're doing is you're building capacity every time you do not resist a negative emotion. Your brain learns, I can feel this, I can survive, and then I can move on. And you remind yourself that emotion isn't the problem. It's the distraction, it's the avoidance of it that is the problem. Avoidance of your negative emotions is the reason why you don't have the dream yet. It's why you don't have what you want in your life. Not because you don't know what to do, but because you don't know how to feel the emotions that are required to take the first step or the second step or halfway through. When you're so close to achieving what you want, you'll sabotage it because there will be a new emotion there that you haven't chosen to feel yet. Growth requires discomfort. Change requires, and dreams require a little bit of uncertainty. Negative emotions are the currency towards your dream. My coach says it like this: discomfort is the currency towards your dream. So what is discomfort? Discomfort is your negative 50. And the idea that you should be feeling good all of the time isn't just unrealistic, it's a lie. And it is literally what is keeping you stuck. So here's a simple strategy that you can start using today. Step 1 is just to remind yourself life is 50-50. Or you can say in the moment, this is a negative 50 moment. Step 2 is, if you can, I want you to name the emotion that you're feeling. You're going to know that it's a negative emotion by the way that you're feeling, or maybe you're already taking the action of avoiding it. So maybe you're in the bag of chips, or you're in the pantry, or you're in the fridge. Ask yourself, wait a second, why am I in here? What am I feeling right now? Name that emotion. And if you don't have the emotional vocabulary yet, because there are hundreds of emotions, you can even say, I'm feeling negative. Okay. So if that's as far as you can get, that's as far as I want you to get. Eventually, I want you to name the emotion of what you think it might be that it is that you're feeling. So you're going to say to yourself, I'm feeling a negative emotion, or I'm in discomfort right now. And then step 3 is to just be present with it. I want you to pay attention to where you feel that emotion in your body. And if it helps, you can even time yourself. And this is just to remind you in the moment, if you're new to this, that you're not going to die. Just time yourself so that your brain has the evidence of, oh my gosh, while I was in it, it felt like 10 minutes, but it turns out it was only 2 minutes. All right, my beautiful friend, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson with how to suffer less and how to feel better. And if you take nothing else from this episode, I want you to take this. Nothing has gone wrong when life feels hard, when you're experiencing the 50-50. When you stop resisting your negative emotions or avoiding them or distracting from them, you will stop creating so much unnecessary suffering for yourself in your life. You do not need to feel better all of the time. You just need to be willing to experience what is real for you in the moment. And when you do that, your life will feel lighter. And not only lighter, but you'll be able to take that next step towards the version of yourself that you desperately want to be. If this episode helped you see your emotions differently, please leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you. I will read every single one of them. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, it's JC, super quick. If this episode resonated with you and you want to take this further, I have 2 ways that you can work with me directly. Path number 1 is for the woman or man who wants to become a normal eater. You're going to work with me for 10 weeks, and by the end of those 10 weeks, you will be the normal eater that you've always desired to be. The second path is my 10-week For Good Life Accelerator. This is for you if you want to up-level every area of your life, build emotional capacity, strengthen follow-through, and develop real self-trust so that you wake up every single day doing the thing that you know that you want to do so that you can build the life that you've always been meant to create. Both programs are going to help you tap into your potential so that you can live the For Good life, the life life without so much unnecessary suffering and a life lived on purpose. And if you're not ready for weekly coaching or to accelerate your progress, I've attached 2 free trainings in the show notes. The first teaches my 4 good method, the 2 steps to normal eating, and the second teaches you how to manage your mind in real time while you're feeling discomfort. And for ongoing teaching, emotional mastery, mind management, intentional living, and how to get out of your own way, join me here on YouTube weekly, hit subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode.